Today we're talking about one of Funko's greatest ideas, Funko Pop rides. Welcome back to the channel, guys. You are watching Slapshotpops. I'm John, and we have a fantastic episode for you guys today as we are talking about Funko Pop rides, which ones they've made, and which ones I think Funko should make because they are just freaking awesome. But before we get into that, we have a 250 subscriber giveaway coming up. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber of the channel and turn on that bell for post notifications so you know when I go live for my 250 subscriber live stream. We are giving away a Marvel Collector Core Amazon exclusive Deadpool box, complete with the Deadpool on Unicorn Pop and a whole bunch of other stuff. This box is freaking awesome, easily $50 worth of value, so you do not want to miss this. So before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button if you're excited for talking about some Funko Pop rides. How we're going to do this video today is we're going to break it down by theme. So first, let's get into our very first theme that we're going to talk about, and that is DC. So the very first theme that we are breaking down today is DC, and one of the very most iconic rides in all of pop culture history is the freaking Batmobile. Now, Funko has made a few Batmobiles. They've made 5 versions of this 1966 classic Batman TV series Batmobile, which starred Adam West as Batman way back in the day. Now, they've also made 2 other Batmobiles, the 1950s version of the Batmobile. They had the classic black one, and then they had a blue Amazon exclusive one. However, I am just blown away and completely baffled by the fact that Funko has not released more Batmobiles. I mean, it's the freaking Batmobile. This is Bruce Wayne, the Caped Crusader. This is what he drives around because unlike a lot of other DC superheroes, he cannot fly. He doesn't have the ability to just teleport to another place. He can't run fast like the Flash. He's got to have a way to get around. So the fact that they haven't made a Justice League Batmobile, a Tumbler, or any kind of other Batmobile is just blowing my mind right now because they could make so much money off of Batmobiles just in general. So I think that is a huge product and a huge niche that Funko is missing out on. So if anything, they got to make more Batmobiles. Especially too in the Batman family, you got Robin, you got Nightwing, you got Batgirl, you have Red Hood, you have all these other sidekick secondary Bat family superheroes that need vehicles to get around. Funko is all about using the same mold and trying to maximize cash value from the same similar product. They could literally make a superhero motorcycle mold and make all those characters that I just listed on a motorcycle. Now, another ride I have here that I want to show off right now is the Wonder Woman clear invisible jet. Now, this thing is huge, and this thing is one of the few Funko products that you actually have to put together. You have to click it into its base, and you have to put the wings on the actual plane itself. Now, this thing is massive. The box is massive. However, this is a perfect example of why Funko rides are awesome. This, like I said, you can put together, and she looks awesome. In this ride, they did such a good job with it. The box is massive. My dog can basically fit in the box. However, this is a perfect display piece, an out-of-box pop, and that's why Funko needs to capitalize on rides, and that's why we're making this video. So now that we've got DC and Batman out of the way, we're going to go into our very next theme. Alright guys, so we just did DC, and now we're going to break down Marvel. So I have a few Marvel rides here that they've already done a fantastic job with. We have one of the Deadpool Chimichanga trucks. This one was actually exclusive to 2015 San Diego Comic-Con. It's a flippin' awesome piece. We also have this Director Coulson Shield Lola car, which was really cool, really popular when it first came out, and then its value kind of dipped, but now it's actually starting to go up in value, and it's really cool because it's actually a hover car. It's a very rare and unique piece nowadays. I also have out on here the Wolverine motorcycle. And I think this ride is going to go up in value one day because Wolverine's definitely going to show up in the MCU. So I got these. These are just some examples of Marvel Funko rides they've made already. However, they can capitalize once again on a lot of Marvel rides that have yet to be made. One of the biggest and coolest things I think Funko could do is actually make a Shield helicarrier. They could have Nick Fury on it or Maria Hill, since we've never gotten a Maria Hill pop. But I think it would be really cool to have Nick Fury on it. And as we just saw, Funko's not afraid of making giant Funko Pop rides, and a Shield helicarrier right now to commemorate the first 10, 11 years in the MCU, I think would be so cool and definitely much needed. Another Funko Pop ride, which I'm just super shocked we haven't gotten yet, is the Milano from Guardians of the Galaxy. You could have Star-Lord in it, you could have Rocket driving it, you could have maybe both, but either of those characters would be super classic. We have Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3 right around the corner, and it would just be a perfect ride to get right about now. And the last Marvel Funko Pop ride that I think they could make, which would be really cool, is the X-Men Blackbird. We know the X-Men have been bought from Fox to Marvel. They're going to show up in the MCU one day, and to have that iconic Blackbird jet that we've seen so many times in the comics, we saw them in the other movies, and I just think it would be so cool to have an actual pop ride of that. So that was Marvel. We already broke down DC and Batman. Let's get into the next theme. Alright, so moving into our very next category, and unfortunately I only have one ride to show off for this category, but that is Disney. As you guys know, Disney, wildly popular, tons of movies, tons of great stories to tell. Right now I only have the Moana 3 Pop ride. It's a very unique ride. I think it's really cool. And if you guys haven't seen the movie Moana, drop what you're doing right now and go see it because it's an awesome movie. The Rock did a great job. But there are 3 Disney rides that I think Funko could make that would just be super cool. So we've kind of been trending on the topic of large rides, and I think Funko could come up with a similar ride to this, but with Jack Sparrow and the Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. I think that would be so cool. The Pirates of the Caribbean movies, they did just such an amazing job with them. Johnny Depp did a fantastic job. There's 5 of them. There's rumor that there might be a 6th or possibly 7th coming out in the near future, so that would be very exciting to see. And I think Funko could really capitalize on this mold if they did go with a pop in a pirate ship, because then they could also do a Captain Hook in the Jolly Roger ship from Disney's Peter Pan, which would be super cool. So you can do the same mold, 2 different characters, 2 different ships, and double the money, right? Because that's what it's all about. So the very last pop ride that we would like to see made in the future is from Onward. It's a very popular Disney movie that dropped this year. It dropped during the quarantine, so everybody's able to see it on Disney Plus instead of in the theaters. Had Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, and they did a phenomenal job in the movie with their voices. And in the movie, there's the unicorn van Guinevere, and I think that would just be such a cool pop ride. The van actually had a lot of emotion in the movie, so it was just really well done, and I think they could really capitalize on doing that pop ride for Disney. So those are my 3 suggestions for Disney rides, and yeah, now we're going to move into the next category. So the next category that we're going to talk about is Freddy Funko. Now, for the most part, everybody loves Freddy Funko. I'm a huge Freddy Funko fan and collector. So right here, I have the Freddy in the New York City taxi ride, and then I also have the Freddy from San Diego Comic-Con 2016 in his little sports car, which was really cool. Both of these pops were limited to 500 pieces, and they're just really great adds to any Freddy collector or any Funko collection in general. Basically, anything they could do with Freddy would be a slam dunk. And I really think they should do more Freddy rides in the future. One suggestion that I have, and I'm not going to take credit for it because it wasn't thought of by me, so I want to give the right person credit. Professor Josh, he has a YouTube channel, and we were going back and forth a couple weeks ago about what Freddys could they make, and he came up with they should make a Freddy in limousine and have it exclusive to the Funko HQ. We just saw the Tourist Freddy drop, and I completely agree with you, Josh. It would be so cool to have a Freddy limousine ride. And like I said, basically any ride that they make with Freddy, limited, not limited, I'm going to buy it because I just think these are just really cool display pieces. So That is our next category, Freddy Funko. So the next topic we're going to be moving into is movies. Now there are a lot of iconic movies out there. There's so many different rides that they could do. And right off the bat, I want to talk about Back to the Future because Back to the Future has just become increasingly popular as the years go on. I have two of the very rare pops from the Back to the Future line that have just been skyrocketing in value. And they already make a time machine for all you guys who stop me right there and say, John, they've already made a Back to the Future ride. They've already made a time machine. Why do we need anything else from Back to the Future? I'll tell you why. Because that time machine is just from part one, Back to the Future. There were still two other movies. And in the second movie, they go into the future and the car becomes a hover car. And then in the third Back to the Future movie, they go back, way back in time to the Wild West. And both of those time machines were significantly different in the features that it had because of the situations in the movies. I think Funko could easily capitalize on those by taking the mold from the first time machine and just adding a couple little details, a couple little paint features to the second two rides, basically, and boom, you have two more cars, two more awesome time machines for hardcore Back to the Future collectors or just movie fans in general. I think that could be an easy slam dunk for Funko and not that hard to make. The next movie I really think they could do is Top Gun. We were supposed to get Top Gun 2 Maverick this summer. Didn't happen. Still no word on when we're going to get that movie. But how cool would it be to get Tom Cruise in a F-14 Tomcat jet or an F-18 or something like that? Just some kind of Maverick with a jet would be so cool. So iconic for Top Gun. Such a huge hit from the 80s. And definitely loved by just a lot of people. Another pop ride that I really think they could capitalize on is the car from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. They've already made several pops from the Ferris Bueller Day Off movie, and why not make the ride to go with it? That infamous scene where the parking garage guys take the car and go for a joyride while Ferris and Cameron are off having their great day off. I really think that ride could be a tremendous add to anyone's collection. It is that red GT Spider from 1985, and it's just so cool. How cool would it be to have Ferris and Cameron in his Red Wings jersey just chilling in that ride? I think it'd be a great pop, and it wouldn't require that much detail. The last movie pop ride that I really think Funko should make is from the very famous, very well done Nicolas Cage movie, Gone in 60 Seconds. In that movie, there is one car that is just really eluding him the entire movie, and he names it Eleanor, and that is the 1967 GT 500. And I just think having a ride of him in that car would be so cool. We've seen similar pops done with the Fast and Furious franchise, and I feel like it wouldn't require that much altering to create that 1967 Shelby GT. So those are my suggestions and my wants for future movie pop rides. And now we're going to move into the next category. Alright, so now moving into TV shows. Just like movies, there are a lot of iconic TV shows with rides and vehicles, and I really think that there's a few Funko could really make a lot of money off of. The first one I want to talk about is Scooby-Doo. Now, Funko's already made quite a few Scooby-Doo pops. They have all those different colors of the flock Scoobies that everyone's still chasing, yet we don't have a mystery machine ride. Why we don't have this, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if they're holding out for an Emerald City Comic Con exclusive maybe down the road or something like that. However, I really believe we need a mystery machine. If we're going to have all these Scoobies and a couple Shaggies in our collection, we gotta have a mystery machine. The next TV show I want to talk about is Stranger Things. Everyone loves Stranger Things. We got Stranger Things Season 4 coming out in a few months. Super stoked for that. And I really think it would be so cool if we had a Hopper in his police car pop ride. That movie is just, or that TV show has just taken off. I think it did a lot better than what people were expecting. We didn't really know anything about it going into it, and Hopper just became such an awesome character. And I really think if we got a ride to commemorate his character from the show, that would just be so cool. The next TV show I want to talk about really quick is The Office. Now, when you think about The Office, you don't really think about any vehicles or anything. However, with Funko capitalizing on Dwight Schrute and his character by Rainn Wilson, I think they're just going to keep making Dwights. So, as a Office fan and a diehard Funko collector, I'm just going to steer into the skid on this one. And I think they should make a Dwight in his Firebird car Funko Pop ride. I think that would be really cool. I think it'd be cool if it was an exclusive or maybe something limited. It just wouldn't be something anyone's really expecting. And we've already got so many Dwights, so why not? Why don't we just get every Dwight? And for all you hardcore Office fans who watch the show, he's one of the few, if not the only character that has the same car for the entire decade-long show. So I think that would be really cool. The last TV show that I want to talk about in this category is an animated show from our childhood. However, they've made a few movies in the past few years, and that is Transformers. Now, before you jump the gun, I know there's new Transformers Pops coming out in a little while. However, why don't we have Transformer rides? Transformers, at the end of the day, are vehicles that turn into robots. So instead of just getting the 4-inch robot version, why don't we get a pop ride too? I would love to have an Optimus Prime pop ride truck in the back of my Optimus Prime 4-inch robot bobblehead. How cool would that be? I want to see Bumblebee. I want to see Starscream. I want to see all those characters as Funko Pop rides. Everyone loved Transformers in the 90s and the early 2000s. It was such a cool animated show. Explosions, actions, everybody loved Transformers. I know everybody has mixed feelings on Shia LaBeouf in the movies, but I think Funko could just really capitalize on Transformers. Now moving into our next category, it's going to be a short one, but we're going to move into sports. Alright, so now moving into our shortest category, because I only have one wish, and that's more of a personal thing, because here at Slapshotpops, we're all about hockey. I whipped out a few of my hockey pops, because I would love to see a Funko Pop Zamboni. They could even keep it super simple, and, maybe put a few teams' logos on there. They could only do one, have it super limited, and maybe put the NHL logo on there. I just think it would be so cool to have a Zamboni Pop ride. But time will tell. Who knows if we'll get that one or not. That's just a personal wish. Let's move into our next category. So now when it comes to vehicles, spacecraft, and pop rides, Star Wars is without a doubt the king. There's so many cool vehicles. I mean, after all, Star Wars takes place in space, so just about every single person needs some kind of spacecraft or ship or something to get around. And that's just unlimited possibilities for Funko to do. Now, I'll tell you one company that has really taken advantage of the Star Wars franchise, and that's Lego. There's so many Star Wars ships and crafts and everything that they've turned into Lego sets, and now I think Funko needs to do the same thing. So I have 3 top wishes for Star Wars pop rides that I want to see from Funko. And yes, this is why I'm wearing my Boba Fett shirt. I freaking love this Boba Fett with Slave 1 Funko Pop. I think it's just one of the coolest things, and right off the bat, they have to make a Mandalorian with Razor Crest pop ride. All they have to do is keep the similar mold that they've used for this Boba Fett pop ride, change up the colors a little bit, alter the design of the ship, and boom, you got a Mandalorian pop ride that's going to sell off the shelves like crazy. And if they make it limited, that pop is going to skyrocket in value. With Mandalorian Season 2 coming out right around the corner, I just think it's a no-brainer for Funko. Another ride that I would love to see is the AT-AT, which is that giant walker that we saw in Hoth. I think that would be such a cool pop. And as you can see here from the Millennium Falcon, Funko doesn't care about the size of Funko Pop rides. Alright, so the next Star Wars Funko Pop ride that I really think they should do, and once again, very similar to a pop ride that they've already made, and that is IG-11 on the speeder. And if he had Baby Yoda in his backpack or behind him or in front of him, I think that would be so freaking cool. Now, if you guys don't remember, in the finale of Mandalorian Season 1, IG-11 rescued him by going on the speeder, and then he shot up the town and everything. And Funko has already made quite a few speeder pops. They've done Leia, they've done Luke on the speeder, they have the Biker Scout here, so they don't even have to do that much to make that pop happen. However, I just think it would be so cool. I think it would be cool to have IG-11, but they would just blow everyone away if they were somehow able to put Baby Yoda, the child, into the pop somehow. So I reached out to a lot of people on Instagram, and I threw it up in my story. What do you guys think for what kind of pop rides you guys would like to see. So I wrote down everybody's recommendations and I wanted to highlight them in today's video to make sure that everyone got a chance to get their opinions heard. And if you guys have a Funko Pop ride that you would like to see be made, drop it down in the comments below. I want to hear about it. I want to talk about it. Let's do it. So going into the Instagram recommendations, at Funko Pops in a Box recommended that they do a Ron Weasley driving the flying car from Harry Potter. I totally agree. That would be super cool. I'm not even a big Harry Potter fan, but I could definitely see a lot of people going nuts for that pop. Another recommendation is from at Popo Razzie. They said that they would love to see Captain America on the motorcycle, and I 1000% agree. That would be so cool. I think it would just be even cooler if it was the World War II version. Maybe make it limited to like 500 pieces. As a diehard Captain America fan, that would be a must-have for my collection. The next recommendation we got comes from at PopVidsHQ, and they recommended that we get Tallahassee in his truck from the first Zombieland. I 100% agree. That would be such a cool pop. For those of you guys who don't know, Tallahassee is played by Woody Harrelson. Great movie, and that would be a really cool pop ride. The next recommendation is from Professor Josh, my buddy again, and he recommended that we get an Indiana Jones with his dad on the motorcycle and sidecar. Once again, great recommendation. That would be super cool. We have not gotten a lot of Indiana Jones pops. We got the one exclusive from 2016. We got the pop ride from New York Comic Con 2016. We got the Disney Parks exclusive, which was just the same ride but with a different sticker. So I totally agree. That would be another opportunity for a Indiana Jones pop for those collectors who haven't gotten one in their collection yet. The next recommendation we got was from Daryl Jr., and Daryl recommended that they make a Heath Ledger Joker pop in the police car when he's riding around in the Dark Knight. 1000% agree. That would be such a cool DC pop ride, and a lot of Joker fans, a lot of Batman fans would definitely go for it, including myself. The next recommendation I got comes from Jet_Funko. If you guys don't know Jet, he was on my live stream a couple days ago. We were talking about Disney. He was showing off his collection. Definitely go check him out on Instagram. And he wrote in a recommendation that we actually discussed on the live stream, and that was Mr. Incredible in his blue suit in his Incredimobile from Disney's The Incredibles. I 1000% agree. Once again, this would be such a cool pop ride because, as you guys probably already know, the Mr. Incredible blue suit pop goes for about $1,500 to $2,000 now, which is not something that's easily attainable for your average collector. So if Disney came out, worked with Funko and said, you know what, we're going to make a pop ride of Mr. Incredible in his blue suit, this would give collectors everywhere another shot at getting this superhero, this Disney, this iconic figure in their collection. I think that would just be super awesome. So thank you, Jet, for writing that in. The last two recommendations I have, first one comes from Ortiz Pop Hunter 05, and they recommended that they do a Skeletor with the Panther pop ride. I have never seen Masters of the Universe, but I think that would be pretty cool. Definitely, there's a lot of Masters of the Universe fans out there, and I know there's a lot of diehard Skeletor fans out there, so that would also be pretty cool. And the last recommendation comes from HK Pops and Art, and they recommended that they do a Billy from Saw on tricycle. Now, I've never seen Saw, so I had to actually look this one up, and this looks super creepy, but if they did it, I know there's a lot of hardcore horror fans out there that would really enjoy this. So great recommendations. Thank you guys for writing in and everything. Anyway, guys, so those are my thoughts on what pop rides I think Funko should make in the hopefully near future. So like I said before, if you guys have a pop ride that you think Funko should make, drop it down in the comments below. I want to hear about it. Let's talk about it. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, hopefully by now I've earned your subscription. So smash that subscribe button. And if you really enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content from Slapshotpops, we got plenty of stuff on the way. And I'm really excited for our 250 subscriber giveaway. We are less than 100 subscribers away, so really exciting. It is right around the corner, and I'm just really grateful for all the support. So once again, guys, thank you for watching, and no matter what, don't stop shooting until you score. We will see you in the next video.